the bright lights of Harvey's Comedy Club, then you're missing out on some of the greatest comedy shows Portland has to offer. Let's go find out the unique history and stories that lie behind the jokes here at Harvey's Comedy Club. Barry Cullen, the owner of Harvey's Comedy Club, a staple in Portland. Nice to meet you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Where are you located, Barry?
Well, you can find us at harveyscomedyclub.com, or you can come down to the club at 436 Northwest 6th.
Same building as
We've been
in
here
the beginning?
Been here for 20 years.
20 years.
20 years.
20 years ago, you started this club. So if you started, why isn't it Barry's Comedy Club?
Because Harvey Dick gave me my opportunity down here.
Who's Harvey Dick?
Harvey Dick was a legend in Portland. He owned the Hoyt Hotel. His dad was the second president of the U.S. Bank, and Harvey built the Liberty ships during World War II. And the great story was he bought the Hoyt Hotel to house the workforce in the shipyards. And then he took the hotel and he put in Tiffany shades, antique bars, and it turned into the show place in Oregon.
20 years and still going strong. What is the key to the success of this business?
Well, I think, you have to enjoy what you do, first off, and I really have a passion for the business and for the people I work with. And so when it starts there, it kind of trickles down to making sure that I produce the funniest shows, bring in the best talent I can afford, and good service, good products, good food. I've still got a passion for food, as you might be able to tell, but that's what the keys are, I feel.
Yeah. So you've seen every comedic act come through, all the comics. Are there any that are more memorable than others? Any that stand out?
Sure. I mean, I sat in this booth over here and had dinner with this guy that was going to go down and read for a pilot, and he'd been complaining about the money, and it was Tim Allen, and he was going down to read for Home Improvement. But all these comics, Ray Romano, Bob Saget, all these people were on the circuit at that time, and so I got to know them as they came through this comedy club.
And you built those relationships and you still have them today?
They've kind of moved on, now they go to the Schnitzer, I've got great memories.
Yes. Barry, why is there a hole in your bar?
Well, we do live in the Beaver State, right? No, actually, the story behind this, I don't know the story, but I'm glad I don't, because the bar came out of Butte, Montana, was built 1894 by the Brunswick Company, and that is a bullet hole. So, duck, but it's right here.
Everywhere I look, there's a piece of history in here.
Including me. No.
Barry, where are you taking me?
I'm taking you through the tunnels underneath the basement of the Bar Hotel, built in the turn of the century. Look at the stone walls. They split the stones off the ballast ships and put them into the foundation of these buildings.
So this basement is down under Harvey's Comedy Club.
Before they built the seawall, it would flood the basement, so silt, the dirt would come in, and I literally dug this basement out and poured the concrete. But this was the dirt level that was in this room from flooding these basements. So all this was dug out by hand, and the story is that when we dug this bay out, this guy James was helping me, and we dug this out, and he found a handgun and in the dirt, and I didn't know. He said, look at this, and it was a handgun. Well, the guy that was running the hotel, when I told him about finding the handgun, he had this really strange look on his face. Years prior to that, he'd been running the New Ritz Hotel, and there was a murder there, and he didn't want to get involved, so he took the handgun and he buried it in the dirt here, and we dug it up.
Doesn't look like you got all the dirt out of your basement, though.
Well, there's a shaft down there, and I really don't know the history behind it, but when we dug this certain area out, we found some bones here, and they weren't chicken bones. We didn't find any skulls, but we found some long bones.
So what is this opening for?
Well, there was a hotel across the street, and I believe that these connected, because there was actually so much stuff down here. There was wood frames with ropes on it, and someone said that was probably some people that were staying in the basement. Could have been the Chinese for all I know, because there was a lot of bottles down here, and they may have been opium bottles.
And you kept those bottles?
Oh yeah, I'll show them to you a little bit later.
Okay.
Now these are the bottles we found when we were digging out the basement. And some of these bottles, I was told, were opium bottles that if the Chinese were down there, they were probably using. But look at the necks on some of the things. Look how bent the necks are and stuff. So these are really old bottles. An ink bottle, because I'll show you why there's an ink bottle. This was an old hotel register. And the thing that struck me is just how much pride people had in signing their names in cursive, because the penmanship is really, it's just great.
Gosh, if you would have never dug out your basement, you would have never found all these treasures.
Yeah, look at the size of that battery. Can you imagine a battery today? That thing's huge.
Can you still use it?
Well, I don't think so.
So do you think this place down here is haunted?
Well, you know, when I was digging it out, I was down here with a flashlight, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden the hair on the back of my neck, I just stood up, and I had to leave this basement. I mean, I'm not superstitious, but something bothered me down here, and I got out of here. And a lot of employees think that this place is haunted. They've heard voices down here, and they think from being an old hotel that a lot of bad things happen in that hotel, that maybe the spirits are still here.
So, Barry, are you ever gonna maybe have a comedy show down here in the basement?
Well, I don't know about a comedy show, but I guarantee you people want to rent the place out for Halloween.
I'll do that. Barry, you weren't kidding. This is a collection of liquor bottles.
Harvey Dick purchased this collection of miniatures from a guy that rode the trains back in the 30s, 40s, 50s. And there's some incredible scotches in here. One of these days, we're gonna have to crack those open.
It's making me thirsty.
Well, let's go in next door and have a drink.
Nice. So Barry, every time I've been in here, the comics have always been funny. Do they have to go through an audition? How do you pick your comics?
So I learned early on that the best way of hiring someone is to have referrals from other comics. But the little caveat is that if that person doesn't do well, whoever recommended them, they don't come back.
Oh, so it's pretty strict with Barry.
Exactly. Because the bottom line is still that, you know, I've got to have the funniest people I can afford on that stage.
So I know that my friends would probably be a good referral, but they're not comedians. So can I get a chance in audition?
Well, sure, I'll give you an opportunity. Why not?
All right, I'm ready to go try.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Okay, Barry, be prepared to be blown away.
Okay, show me what you got.
So 2 cowboys are in the kitchen. Which one's the real cowboy? The one by the range. So what's pink and fluffy? Pink fluff? No? Oh. What's blue and fluffy? Pink fluff holding its breath? No? No? Oh. Where can you find a one-legged dog? Where you left it? Come on. Nothing? Okay. So a French fry walks into a bar and he bellies up to the bar and the bartender's like, "I'm sorry, we don't serve food." Oh, Barry, I can't really see you in the lights, but you're laughing, right?
Time out. Open mic Sunday night. You need practice.
Okay, well, I guess I'll go work on it.